Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Star Wars Out of the Box with me, Dill Streep. Each week I'll be diving into this box of old Star Wars toys, books, and memorabilia, grabbing an item, discussing it, its place within Star Wars, and what it means to me. Before we get started, you might already be able to tell that this is a special episode. If you've spotted why, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let's see what's in the box today. It's the Star Wars Micro Machines Yoda / Dagobah transforming playset. That's right, it's the Star Wars Micro Machines Yoda / Dagobah transforming playset. And what makes this episode even more special is that this is the only item I have in my collection that's actually signed. According to the box, signed by voice of Yoda, Frank Oz himself. I haven't bothered to get it authenticated, but really, why would somebody just scribble Frank Oz on the front of a box in order to sell it on eBay to somebody unknown across the seas? Also start by saying that unlike the Chewbacca transforming playset, they've actually captured Master Yoda's face very well, and I maintain that it's more difficult to capture a face than a helmet. So as we open the set up, we reveal scenes from The Empire Strikes Back, and I suppose Return of the Jedi too. But this set is far more focused on Luke's training. In terms of characters and ships, we get a Luke Skywalker in his tan vest. We get Master Yoda himself, who looks like he's reaching out for a conga line that's passed him by. But this is because he's able to clip onto Luke and run around on his back as he trains. It would be a crime for me to not put the following clip in here.
Run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run, 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 jump and stop. Put me down. I love to groove and boogie. Yeah.
Great.
Show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
If I had your giant feet out there on the beach, could have outrun those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Man, I love that video. We also get R2-D2 covered in swamp muck. He's obviously left the X-Wing, fallen in the water, been spat out by that swamp creature. I'm not sure that creature has a name, and I haven't looked it up. I know that the trash compactor monster is called a Diogona, or a Diagona, and that the space serpent inside the giant meteor later on in The Empire Strikes Back has a name too. But I'm not sure that the Dagobah one ever did. If it does, please leave it in the comments below. I'd be very interested to know. We also have a semi-translucent Obi-Wan Kenobi, indicating that he is a spirit. And then in a Star Wars Micro Machines transforming playsets first, we have a repeat character, with Luke Skywalker again with lightsaber out, as well as Darth Vader ready to duel. Of course, if you want to get really technical, you could say that the set actually includes 3 Lukes, as the Vader he encounters in the cave turns out to be himself, or at least a metaphorical version of himself. And then for the ship, we have Luke's X-Wing, also covered in the same swamp muck that R2 is covered in. The same ship that was both the subject of Luke's trying and Yoda's doing of using the Force to bring it out of the swamp. In terms of features, the set is actually jam-packed. There's an area for Luke to do his training by pulling on this lever on the back here, the famous Luke swinging on a vine from tree to tree. We're also able to connect him to this other little track where he can move across, go into a handstand and levitate these objects. You'd think R2 would be able to fit onto one of these, as he should be levitated as well. I'm not entirely sure where Ghosty One Kenobi is meant to go. In a very unsettling moment during Return of the Jedi, he walks through the bushes and sits down on a log as a ghost. I always found that scene quite strange. It takes some getting used to watching a ghost walk around and then sit down to relax. I assume it's because Sir Alec Guinness didn't feel like standing up to deliver his lines, that he was infamously so sick of by then. But the best feature of the set is definitely the cave where Luke enters and ends up dueling Vader, or so he thinks. So we place the characters on these little platforms. And then in one of the all-time great moments of design, we use Yoda's ears to control the duel, which just looks awesome. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, where the one robot is the other robot's father, but also himself, and the figurehead of the evil empire. I'm convinced that this set was designed after the Boba Fett transforming playset, because this kind of feature would have worked really well at the top there for their duel on Cloud City. And then off to the side here, if you peel open Yoda's shoulder, there's a space for the X-Wing to float, as if being brought out of the swamp. So I think in terms of playability, this might be one of the best sets I have. And the fact that it came in a potentially signed box is just a bonus. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Star Wars Out of the Box with me, Dill Streep. If you did enjoy it, please give it a look, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Until next time, goodbye. It's the Star Wars Micro Machines. It's as well as Darth Vader, also ready for action. As well as Darth Vader with his out too. No. Of course, if you want to get really technical, you could say that the set... Of course, if you want to get really technical, you could say that this... And we're also able to connect him to this other little track. Oh man, keeps falling down. Out of there. He does show up on Dagobah during Return of the Jedi, where he very unsettlingly, he comes... No, that doesn't sound right. I think. Micro Machines, what they gonna do to you? It's like Rock'em Sock'em. It's like Rock'em Sock'em. It's like Rock'em Sock'em robots. It's like Rock'em Sock'em. It's like Rock'em Sock'em robots, only better.